Hey fellow makers, in today's video we're going to be setting up a budget dye sub printer for under $200. We were fortunate to find this Epson 7710 here on the Epson refurb site. I'll drop a link down below for it. We found it for $109.99, which is a phenomenal value for a starter printer. In addition, we went ahead and picked up this this Cosmos ink conversion kit during the Cyber Monday sale for $50.25. So that gives a grand total of a print-ready printer for $180.25, which is going to be pretty amazing. In today's video, we'll go through the process of setting it up, the minor tweaks that I do to it to optimize the print quality and everything. So without further ado, here we go. So there we go, folks, the magic of editing. We'll go ahead and get to the setup and everything. First, we're going to be doing the standard cartridges just to make sure everything works fine, and then we'll convert over to dye sub. Alright guys, this is the setup. Of course, you choose your language, choose your country. And it's probably going to ask for the cartridges at this point. Yep, install the cartridges, so we'll go ahead and pause and get that prepped. So we got our camera repositioned, still at the same menu. We'll go ahead and do that. You'll see it do its little dance. And while it's doing that, we'll go ahead and get the cartridges out of the package. And this is just to make sure that it works by default. Without any further, you know, because if the printer's bad, then it'll be frustrating to try to troubleshoot it while you're trying to convert it to sublimation ink. So this just lets us know that it definitely works as it is. God, these cartridges are freaking annoying. Remove for the air hole. I heard it pressurized. We'll go ahead and put the black cartridge in first. Circuit board. We'll move this up a little bit. That way you can see exactly what we're doing. There we go. Should have sufficient light. And it just seats it down in there and you'll feel it click. Just make sure you got them in the right place and you're good to go. Easy stuff. And make sure you pull the cord for the little thing for the drain ports. You have to pull that to give it some air. Cyan. Next up is the magenta cartridge. So we go ahead and do that one. Pressurize it. Pop it in there. Okay. And last but not least, the yellow. So we go ahead and do that. I guess I could re-enable the lights for this step. There we go. Give us a little bit more light. Those big old studio lights help out a little bit when you're trying to look inside the printer and see what's going on. Again, just pull the tab and seat them on in there. And that should do. And then to initialize it, we'll go ahead and get that at the next step. All right, so once you have it in there, you can just gently shut him, and it'll be like, okay, what am I doing? We'll move this back a little bit further so you can really see what's going on with this printer. But yeah, it's a really straightforward thing. It's going to initialize. It's going to take a couple minutes to do its thing, and while it's doing that, we'll just kind of hang out. So yep, we'll as soon as this process is over with, we'll resume the video. All right, now we got that beautiful initialization complete. We'll go ahead and close, select our paper size. All right, we'll go ahead and move it up a little bit. All right, we're gonna go ahead and put it as 8.5 by 11. We're gonna go ahead and specify that we're gonna do premium matte. We're gonna do okay. Inner fact stuff, we're not gonna use that. That may be you. Remind us later. Nope. So we'll run through the settings real quick. First off, make sure your ink's all good. Good to go there. Settings, general settings. We're just going to run through the settings real quick. I don't think any of these are relevant. No. Printer settings is relevant. Paper source, auto switching, error notice. Universal print settings. No offsets. None of that. Thick paper, just what it does, it moves the print head up a little bit. Quiet mode off, ink drying time. I usually do that as longer. That way you don't get, that way the paper doesn't buckle up like this and you get those weird issues. Bidirectional, we have that on. Let's see, network settings, scan settings, all that's in there. You won't need any of that, but just those two settings is all I usually use. So let's go ahead and do a test print and see what we got. Let's see. First things first, we're just going to pull the paper tray out. We're going to load us a couple of pieces of paper in there. Let's go ahead and get us some good old copy paper. Here we go. And there's no telling how many sheets we're going to need for this, because it takes a lot of paper to do this. And you'll see why in a little bit. Oh, not set up for 8.5 by 11. So we're gonna have to do some quick arranging. Yep. Had to make sure we got that seated right. It's good. This is just regular printer paper, not sub paper. Would not recommend wasting dye sub paper on this. Go ahead and pull that out, but that way it doesn't get in the way of the camera. Focus on that. There we go. And we'll go ahead and do a test print just to see what we got. Maintenance, we're going to do a print head nozzle check. And see if we actually have ink going to the heads and all that, make sure it prints. And as you can see right here, let's focus on that. Yep, we have a pretty solid print. So we are good to go, so we can go ahead and hit that. We don't need any kind of, everything's outputting just fine. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and get this sublimation kit ready. And it comes in a nice little box. It comes with, of course, the cartridge kit. It comes with syringes, needles, and also your ink. So it's everything you need to do an awesome job. I prefer Cosmos ink. I think it's the best and most consistent ink for my purpose. Go ahead and get our scissors. We'll go ahead and get this open. And there we go. Now, when we do our needles, I just use, of course, one for each color. We'll go ahead and get all those out. We'll go ahead and do this. Put it on there. Go ahead and get our cartridges out. So we'll go ahead and do that. And you can clearly see. There we go. Simple cartridges, nothing special. We'll go ahead and get the plastic off of them. That can sometimes be more of a chore than what it should be, but, you know, to each his own. There we go. And we'll go ahead and do the black cartridge first. But yeah, what we want to do is the bottom ones here. These are for the flow. Oops. Sorry, wrong way. These are for the ink flow on these cartridges. We'll go ahead and do all of them just so you can see. But the ones across the bottom here, those are for the actual ink flow. The fill ports are always up top, which I don't know why they're switched on the black one, but you know, it is what it is. We'll go ahead and do the black one first. So what we'll do is we'll pull this out. These sometimes are hard to get out. I'll show you how I do it. I take it, I just put that in there and I just give it a little lift up. That way you can easily just get your fingers in there and do it. Now, we'll go ahead and open our ink. Now, oh, there's no more. That's interesting. There used to be like an aluminum foil on top of it. I guess they don't do that anymore. So I have to be extra careful with it. All right, so we go ahead and do that. And then this will make it a little more difficult. We'll go ahead and do that. Turn it this way. We're gonna go ahead and give it a feel. All right, and we'll just keep going until the cartridge is completely full. Now with the black being just a bigger cartridge, it's going to take a lot more. It's probably going to take 2.5 full things of it. Maybe even more than that. So you just keep going. And eventually you'll fill it up. That's probably enough. Go ahead and get there. There we go. I don't know if you can see it, but that's getting a little full. We'll go ahead and get a little bit more to just fill it all the way up. That'll be less we have to do later. There we go. And we'll put that one out of the way so we don't, there's no possibility that we'll reuse it. But you can see, I won't tilt the camera, but you can see it's most of the way full. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and put the fill port back. I need a towel. Do I have one? We'll use a microfiber just to clean all that up. Keep it nice and clean. And there we go. A good filled up cartridge. Now, be careful with this ink because I used to have aluminum foil on top of it that would keep it from spilling. But the new kits don't do that, which is fine. All right. Next up, now that we have that one, we'll go ahead and do the cyan cartridge. The feel for him is right there. So we'll go ahead and do that. And just like the black, we'll go ahead and get the top off of them. Now these don't take near as much as the black did. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and just I think like 1.5 we usually do them. And you're just actually, that looks really good. Let's add a little bit more. Maybe like that much. That cartridge is actually full, so we'll go ahead and squirt the remainder in there. Set them aside. And we'll go ahead and do that. We'll go ahead and plug him. And we'll go ahead and wipe him. Give him a good wipe. And set him over there by our black cartridge. And we'll go ahead and bundle that back up. So we'll go ahead and put all this back in here for right now. Good little storage box for our ink and syringes. Everything fits pretty darn good. Usually when I'm storing them, I put mine in a Ziploc bag just to keep anything from happening. But we'll go ahead and get those cartridges in the printer real quick. Now, all we're doing when we're doing this, we're going to maintenance, and I think it's like ink cartridge replacement. You'll see them right there. Bam, replace ink cartridge. And it'll tell you to lift the scanner and do that, so we'll go ahead and do that real quick. So we'll lift it, it'll do its little dance. We'll go ahead and get situated. Actually, let's do this. There we go. All right, it did its little dance. Now it's out of this little area, so we can just go ahead and pop it up and just part those cartridges in one at a time. So first skin goes black, nice satisfying click, and then you go ahead and you pull the bottom one, which is the air hole. Go ahead and bring over all the other cartridges at one time. All right, next up is the cyan. So go ahead and pull him. We'll go ahead and put him in there. And we'll go ahead and pull the air hole. And I like to go ahead and switch them because it's just easier. There we go. Make sure they're well seated. Go ahead and pull a magenta. Replace him. Again, same thing. I like to replace the, I like consistency. All right. And for the last one, yellow. And there we go. Now we're all squared away. Fill holes is good to go. So we can go ahead and just go ahead and clamp that. And now we can go ahead and shut it, and it'll It'll do its little dance and tell us that the ink's been replaced. It'll initialize the cartridges, detect them and all that, and you'll be good to go. All right, once it goes through the initialization process, cleaning process, you'll see a, it'll ask if you want to print the test pattern. We'll go ahead and print that. Put that in. Oh. Go ahead and do a nozzle check. It's probably still got the default ink. It may even be blank. It definitely won't have Dye Sub ink yet. You can see it's starting to, it still has ink in the cyan, magenta, yellow, but some of the black ink's starting to come out. So what we'll do a cleaning on all colors again. And we'll just keep repeating this process and we'll eventually get it. So we'll go ahead and do as many of those as required, and I'll let you know how many we need. Alright guys, so what you do after you get your ink set up and initialized, go to settings, do maintenance, do a print head cleaning, and go ahead and do all colors. And then once you do that, it'll ask you if you want to do a test print. So we'll go ahead and do that. But anyway, you just keep repeating the process. You do a print head cleaning, and then you do a test print, and keep doing that until you get all your ink through. All right, real quick, we'll go through what the test prints look like. I'll go ahead and focus on that. This is the very first test print. This is test print number 1. As you can see, all the ink's still there. Let's see. This is test print number 2. You can see the black ink starting to die out completely. Test print number 3 actually started to go a little bit better. You can see some of the black sub ink. You can see some of the other colors dying out. Oh, number 4. This is number 4. You can see some of the sub ink starting to come in, and you can see the other colors starting to die out. On number 5, you can see the black sub ink is starting to come in a little bit better, and it looks like some of the other inks just went ahead and come on in too. It looks like the magenta's in, and also the yellow, and everything looks way better. It's actually getting there. Let's see. This is number 6. Number 6 was kind of a hot mess. There we go. This was number 6. Number 7 is when all colors decided to come back. As sub ink, just a little bit of fill needed in the black. Let's see. Number 8. This was number 8 after the cleaning. Everything looked really good. And just as a test, we go ahead and run one more, number 9. Number 9's perfect. And then usually just because I like to run a full sheet that has every color on it, and that'll let you know that it's definitely good to go. And this definitely is Dye Sub ink. It's not regular ink. Alright guys, that's how you get a budget Dye Sub printer for under $200. Pretty good value overall. It'll run as a backup printer here. Do a really good job. But yeah, if you like this type of comment, just drop me a subscribe, do a like on the video. I'll go ahead and drop everything that I used in the comments below. I appreciate you checking me out. Thanks. Bye.